Just talk about stuff. Okay. Okay. Somebody chatted and wrote, who is Perter? Because you wrote my name. Yeah. You said Perter and I will talk. Yeah, no clue how to do any of that stuff. Oh, you mean the chat? Yeah. People know you. I think some people know me, not everyone, but hmm. So is the audio going through or
Hello, check, check. Yep.
Perter is a good guy? It's that Peter guy you gotta watch out for.
Audio looks good. We're gonna go live, and we are live. Audio's muted. Cool. Are we live? We are. Hello, Ryan. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're gonna get started here. Perter has joined the chat. This is Peter Lim, by the way. I misspelled his
Hey
name
guys.
apparently. Di-
What
diff-
is going on?
Good evening. Good morning. Morning for me. It's late for Peter. Who we got? Fleck Checker, Caesar Day, Ed Hamrick, J Music Fan, Yushi Onishi, welcome. Blacklisted Records, awesome. Alpha Omega, Made News Network. Oh, look at that. Kevin represent Exit 13, Michael Hill, Jennifer Reed, Cookie Monster, Retek. Welcome everybody. Dave Campbell, good to see you, man. Welcome to the. I guess we'll make this a podcast, huh? We'll
It'll
put it
be what
on
it'll be.
something. It'll be video, podcast, whatever, dude. We'll just put it everywhere.
Just here to hang out and talk music.
Yes, we are. So, yeah, Peter contacted me a few days ago and was like, hey, you want to talk about the best so far of this year? Because we've all been doing a lot, as you guys have seen on the, I'm just calling it Twitter, on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. I don't know, man. You pose this idea. I'm like, sure. And then I'm like, how am I going to possibly narrow down all this stuff I've been to and seen? So it's going to be a mess. So Peter, how are you? And why do you want to do this?
How am I? At the moment right now, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was busy all day, kind of editing for a Hades interview that's been in, like way in the back of my shelves for the past few months, 5 months to be exact.
Yeah.
Um, but my excuse is that I've been doing so much with and for Hades that yeah. But other than that, my foot, for those who have been following MNN and have been hearing about my foot for the longest time, finally went to a new place. It could be an infection. Gonna get it
Oh,
checked. And hopefully, whether it be antibiotics or whatever it needs to be, it'll be taken care of. So when I'm at these shows, I won't be limping with a cane and just like wishing I could just jump into the crowd and get my mosh going.
yeah, man.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, if it was just a sprain, it seems like it should have started getting better, huh?
yeah. But yeah, as far as why I wanted to do this, well, first, because I haven't talked to you in a while. It's been, I think, after you visited and then you went back, we kind of stopped interacting for a bit. So I thought it'd be good to catch up with you.
For sure, man.
And then I thought, well, it's already mid-August and we only have like 4.5 months left. Is that no, three and a nine, September, October, November, December, 4.5 months left.
This
So
many?
I thought, yeah, they're 4.5. So. So I figured it'd be good to kind of just catch up and do a little look back, because especially since we're both pretty busy
Yeah,
and we do encounter quite a fair bit of music and music moments, it's hard to do a whole year thing. So I thought it'd be good
it
to do
is.
that.
That is a good idea. I think my this last part of the year is going to be a lot slower for me.
Oh,
It
why's
was
that?
just because it was so insane to begin with. It's like, dude, you need to just stop. Like, been up to Minneapolis like 3 times, and Milwaukee, and uh, Chicago, and then I went to Japan for a couple weeks, and that felt like a month.
Right.
It was wild time. So I think I just need to chill out. There's stuff around here. I'm gonna go see it. I forgot about
Yeah.
a Hanabier show in Chicago when I got back. I think it was the next weekend, and I was looking at my calendar. I'm like, "What's this confirmation for?" Oh, Hanabier tickets. Babe, are we doing anything Saturday? So I gotta go to Chicago at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it is once you kind of get into this, like I need to see these shows, I need to see these bands. It's just
Yeah,
it is so easy to get lost in what show, when it is, even who it is. Like
yeah,
it's a whirlwind, man.
yeah. You go to see one show, dude, and it's like it's rare to get a one man show when you're seeing stuff in Japan anyway. So it's like 5 or 6 bands per show. Some
Yeah.
some you never heard of. You're like, who, and I'm like, what is this band? I don't know what that symbol is. What is this band? Yeah, I had a wristband from. Oh shit, let me look it up because I did go and look it up. Uh, Setsuriku Robot. That I had that wristband. I'm like, I don't even know who this is, but it's a great band.
Mm.
um,
Yeah. It I kind of turn off if I can't read the name of the band.
yeah.
If I see the band's name and it takes me more than 10 seconds to figure out what they're saying, I just go, I don't know.
Well, that was like the first or second band from the Hades show.
Raizo-san,
Raizo.
Raizo from Nekomeshi.
Welcome. Awesome.
こんばんは。
Jan Ash is here. Robert Jolie Mortino. Some other people popping in. Eric Ifune, G-Man. Welcome, everybody. Yes.
Yeah, I
So,
gave you. Hmm.
do you want to kick it off or what?
Do I
Ooh,
want to kick
Eric
it
Ifune
off?
with the super chat. Thanks, sir. Love it. Okay. So,
Eric's a generous man.
what's your
Yeah, so the whole point, the whole premise of this was to kind of try as best as possible, as humanly possible, to narrow things down in terms of like things that have caught our attention, caught our ear, made us feel something more than the rest.
ah
And I think unfortunately, sometimes a lot of things make us feel a lot of things, like a lot,
yeah yeah
you know. I think I'm luckier in the sense that you as a reactor and with your chats, I've noticed like you go through like these crazy
oh my
long
god,
live
dude.
streams and like
It's
all these requests and it's just like 30, 40 songs. I don't know. I don't, it's just, and I'm
it's
thinking I could,
yeah, it's nuts sometimes, man. Like I I'll have a stream like that was amazing. There was so many awesome bands. Then the next day I'm like, what do I listen to? It's like, yeah, it's fucking Bandmade. Like I heard 27 new bands. I'm like, I can't process all this.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually made a decision. I kind of made a conscious decision after moving here and telling myself, linger, linger on some bands,
Yeah,
and don't feel rushed to try to like jump on to the next thing and try to like catch everything. Like I don't want this to be some Pokemon and like whatever, you don't want to catch them all.
yeah,
You really want to get in deep and really savor things. So I think mentally I had to adjust because in Osaka I could take my time. I could go to a show because that's the only show that was playing like there in Osaka with these bands that I liked.
yeah,
So yeah, there's that one. Now I come here to Tokyo, there's like five different shows going on the same night.
yeah.
I'm like,
God,
damn it, I love all these bands.
yeah. There's a lot. You encounter a lot of really good bands, but then there's stuff that you find yourself listening to in your free time. And I had to stop and think of that. Like,
Mhm.
okay, what am I listening to other than Bandmade? And there's a few bands that I did. So
Mhm.
let's see. You
Well,
had no, go ahead.
well, it wasn't quite necessarily because I was thinking about the top concerts I went
Okay,
to, top albums, top moments of just being here in Japan, top songs in terms of like what I listened to a lot. And I also listed like sort of new slash old bands that kind of caught my attention.
all
So
right,
kind of the top new bands, I guess.
cool.
But how about we start with concerts?
Okay,
Does that work for you?
yeah.
All
Let's
right. So how many shows have you seen so far this year?
23 or shows. Let me see. 12 shows
Hmm.
and 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 shows were in the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Now you stayed busy when you came here.
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Hmm.
Like after I got home, it was like it all hit me. I'm like, oh my god, that was kind of a nightmare. Like for some of it, like some of the situations that happened, I'm like, oh, when shit was going on, I just kind of put it on my head, like, move forward. You can't go home, so you just have to deal with your shit. And then I got home and I was
Right.
telling people about it, and they're like, God, that sounds hectic. I'm like, yeah, it was kind of hectic, but I'm okay. Luckily,
Yeah, it can be a mad rush.
yeah, man. So the first thing I think about when you say what's the best of or anything, and I've said this on some of my streams. I went there to see Bandmade, and I had help of a Discord member. Got me a ticket to go back to fly back. Thank you.
Hmm.
And so it was to see Bandmade, and I made it so I could see 2 shows. And I thought in my head I thought it was like a week and a half, but it ended up being 2 weeks. And those shows aren't even the first thing I think of. It's just interacting with the fans
Hmm.
at each of the different places, and that's literally the best thing that's happened this year. Going
Hmm.
to several shows here, and I ran into the same 3 or 4 people. Shout out to like Justin, Scruffy, C Figgy. Um, those guys I saw at almost every show I went to here. And then over in Japan, there's so many people I got to meet that I never met in person. Some people I got to see again. I got to see you and Boji-san, Haramatsu, and just a lot of people I met before and was able to get back to. So that's kind of the best thing, which is kind of a
Hmm.
cop out because then I don't have to think about 30 other bands. But it was surprising though. I thought it was going to be just a band made to be the first thing on my mind. Then it's not. It's just the trip and the people.
Hmm.
But I
That
gotta
that is definitely interesting about the community you start building, the friendships you start building. It definitely makes a difference in how you perceive like this experience.
yeah, for sure. So, but if we go with concerts, once I booked my flight there, I knew how long I was going to be there. I started looking at bands and who was going to be playing where.
Mm.
And a band that I had been obsessed with was from the get go was Drag Down, which
Mm.
now there's some bands I talked to, I had interviews with like Gungare, I did with Drag Down and Hades, and who else did I see that I talked to? Maybe those are the bands I saw, but to be able to meet them in person was awesome. But Drag Down I
Mm.
had been talking about, and promoting quite heavily, and they were going to
Right.
play. And I found out they were playing with Gungare for Gungare's release show. I'm like, dude, this is perfect.
Right.
And getting to meet them and see them live was just incredible. So I mean, those are highlights. The bandmade shows were awesome, man. Like first one was Aichi, Nagoya, but Osaka I think was. I don't know which one was better. I think Osaka's sticking out to me a little bit better. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I saw the Tiger live, which is another band that I heard of not too long before I left, and
Mm.
Nogar from Australia messages me
Mm.
while I'm in Japan. He's like, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing today, but the Tiger's playing close to you." I'm like, "What?" so I just hopped on a train. That was in
Mm.
Ikeshita, I think, and dude, it's incredible. And I saw two other awesome bands there too. So it's just wild.
Mm.
So I guess I'll say Bandmade, Drag Down, Good Grade, Tiger. It's a pretty awesome
Those are your
concert.
tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's a
then
lot.
I'm like, how
There's a
can I
lot.
not talk about Hades and hanging out with them and laughing my ass off it? Just hanging out with them, with the whole
Right.
band. And it's just awesome, dude. The show, yeah, there's too much. There's too much.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So for me, I think so this is August, and because of my
Yeah.
foot, there were a couple of shows I couldn't go to, but so far I've seen 36 shows, if I've counted correctly. So 36 shows, and then it'll be probably 41 by the end of this month. So it's like five more shows I'll be seeing. Um, and yeah, it is. There's just so much.
Yeah. I feel bad picking one over the
But
other.
I was kind of looking back and trying to think of like moments or like certain things that just stood out to me.
Mhm.
And the first one was actually the first spin-off show because I know now there's going to be three more, like one at the end of this month and then two in October.
Yeah.
But the first one at Zep Yokohama, that was like the throwback spin-off, the nostalgia, and that was where they played Before Yesterday, One and Only, YOLO. And like I shared this in a live stream on MNN, but I just started weeping, like weeping hard during the show. And I mean, I've been moved and I've cried before at
Yeah.
shows, but nothing like this. It was like somebody like reached deep inside to like a core memory. And thankfully I had a bandmate towel with me. So I was just like,
You actually used your towel? Ah, that's good. The
yeah,
tears.
it was wild. It
Tears of
was
joy.
wild, man. Because the nostalgia, the throwback and hearing those songs live, it reminded me of everything I've been through with Bandmate and
Yeah.
kind of in that sense what they've brought me through. So like that was an incredible experience. I've never had something like that. So that was definitely a highlight for me. Um, Pretty much all the Hades shows I've been to like 11 so far this year. Um, and then solo shows too are amazing, like for solo band stuff. But just being with them and just seeing the energy that just comes, just the life that's brought to the floor when these girls get on stage, it's mind blowing. I mean, you experienced it.
Yeah.
It's wild. It goes electric. It does.
You know what I just pisses me off right now is I was looking back through my Google Photos and it's all by, organized by month and time and date and all that stuff. The day of the Hades show, I didn't take one freaking picture. I think I took a picture of the board showing who was playing that night, and then that was it. Like it
Uh,
was take anything inside, nothing. When I was with the band with you, she saw nothing. I'm like, I didn't take any photos. I think it was just such a cool like I was just kind of there,
yeah,
which is kind of
you're in
cool.
it.
It's,
Yeah,
you know,
you're in it.
it's all in
Right.
here, and I mean, part of it was I probably had like 3 hours of sleep or whatever from whatever was going on, whatever
Right.
sleep
You were
situation I
hurting.
had. Yeah, dude, I was
You were
so freaking tired.
hurting.
I think that was the day I thought I was gonna have all day in the hotel and I was gonna sleep. And I went and got food and
You were just
fucking
wandering
and
around,
like a
weren't
nine
you?
percenter, and then I laid down and the hotel I was at was like, "Hey, you need to check out." I'm like, "Oh my god, what?" I was literally going to sleep, and now I have to like get out and just go wander around. So yeah, it was because yeah, we didn't start live streaming until like what 11 o'clock that night.
11:30 that
11:30,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, with the snacks.
So if you watch that live stream and I look like I'm barely hanging on, that's because I'm barely hanging on. It's
Yeah,
still fun though.
it is what it is. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go through these quickly
Yeah,
because I actually have more. So the day that I saw you at the Gungi Day drag down show with the other bands like Femtocell and whatnot,
yeah.
um, I was actually at a Brideer show right before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
S- So I went to go see Brideer and I was like, I gotta see them. I haven't seen them in a while. They have their new album out. And then it coincided with Gungire having their new EP out,
yeah,
Incitement. And it was awesome because the Bright Year girls had upped their game. And Bright Year definitely doesn't mind playing their hits. And there's songs that I just love, like Brave New World Revisited, Ignite, and then their new song Born Again. Like all this stuff. Like I love their music. And man, they were just at it. So going to that and then going directly to Shinjuku Anti-Knock and then seeing Gungire.
yeah,
I had missed Dragdown, but seeing Gungire for the first time and how awesome that experience was. And that like 1-2 punch was just awesome. That was good stuff. That was really good stuff. And then the following day, was it? Or 2 days later? I think the following day, that's when we watched Hades
yeah. It
together.
was the following day.
And then we had the snacks. So
Yeah,
that was a really awesome show. Um, and then just a couple of weeks ago, no, what day is today? 15. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, more or less, Sai Sega and Doll Parts. They did this last
oh
year, but
shit.
they did it this year too.
Yeah,
They did this doll size show, this combo, like about an hour 20 each or so, roughly. It was a larger venue, like great venue, good size. I think it was like 600 capacity. The
wow,
sound
yeah,
was a lot better. Sound was a lot better than like the smaller live houses. And both bands just like they met the venue, the size of the venue, the expectation, and like the way that it was just a bigger place. The lights were cleaner, brighter. They had
yeah,
this like what do you call those little walkway, and you could tell there was so much excitement, like being there and seeing like Arisa. She like actually jumped into the crowd, but
yeah.
they weren't ready for her. So I think they barely just caught her and had to throw
Oh
her
my
back because they couldn't quite like
god, wow.
get the momentum. And then Sega just killed it too with their new songs, and it was awesome. My foot was in pain, but I was just like taking it in, like, God, this is great. I really wish like these bands could get bigger and be bigger and experience more because
Did
yeah. That
Saisei and
was
Doll Parts, did they ever share the stage at all? Or like
it was like Regan would come out for a song with Doll Parts, and then Arisa came out for a song for
that's
Sega.
so cool, man. Awesome. I
Yeah,
thought I saw a
and like
photo of Regan out there with her with them. That's cool.
yeah, and their friendship is really cool because like musically it's quite different. but that friendship that kind of binds them and ties them, and it's because they worked together and their collective fan base allowed them to do a larger venue like that. So,
Right on. Yeah, because they
um,
were doing live streams together with
yeah,
the drummer from Doll Parts Ride, and Regan was there.
right, right.
Yeah,
It was a pretty revelatory show for me for those bands. It was like, yeah, they can, like, as performers, they can fill up that stage, fill up that kind of venue.
they always play for that size anyway, man. Like they're never every I've seen a lot of bands in small venues, but they never playing for a venue whatever size they're in. It's always like they're giving it 110%. You know.
Right, right. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, just good stuff, good stuff. And of course there's more, but I'll leave it at that for now.
Right
Uh
on, man.
yeah.
So
So
go
how
ahead.
many more shows do you think you'll be going to for the rest of the year?
I don't even have anything. There's like nothing planned right now. I'm just kind of
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like some stuff will come up. I missed. There's a band called Bent Knee, which I found through the live stream, which is a very kind of progressive, jazzy rock,
Hmm.
awesome band that was playing like the next weekend when I went and saw Hanabi in Chicago. They're playing the same place,
Hmm.
but you know the price of seeing a Japanese band isn't the same as seeing an American band.
Right.
And then with all their bullshit fees they tack on everything, it's like, dude, one person's
Maybe back
okay. You
to
want to take
Japan.
two people, yeah. So and there was just stuff going on that weekend I couldn't go. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna. We'll see. We'll see. Something will pop up. I'll get if it's a couple hours away, a few hours away. It's no problem to get to. But
Hmm.
a lot of bands aren't coming into the heartland, man. They're staying out on the edges where it's easy to get in and get out, close to Canada and on the coasts. You know,
Would you ever move out of Indiana?
no, fuck no. Indiana's awesome, dude. You can go to these places and come back and just be in the wonder of the Midwest. I love it.
Such a Midwesterner.
For sure, dude.
I mean, I grew up in Hollywood. Like that was my hometown for like first 18 years of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say, I don't know. On the one hand, I'm a city boy, but on the other hand, I love the experience of being on the country in the countryside, like here in Japan when I first moved here.
Yeah.
But I did get antsy. I did want to do stuff.
Yeah. I'm cool with like, yeah, I'll drive a couple hours, hang out in the city for a while, get the fuck out of there. It's cool though because
Yeah.
being in Japan a few times now and a couple times more or less kind of on my own.
Hmm.
I'm at ease there, like wherever. Like when I went this last time, I showed up and the hotel I'd booked was just there wasn't a room. I had nowhere to go. I'm like, oh shit, I'm alone in Tokyo. It's like fucking 9:30 at night. I'm like, well, it's warm. I could probably sleep on the sidewalk if I had to, but I really don't want to. So I found a hotel and I was like, I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, I'll find a place. No big deal. Just
Hmm.
start walking. If I'd have been in like Chicago and it happened, I'd be like, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here.
I mean, I had some terrible experiences last year of traveling and like missing things, missing flights, missing
Yeah.
buses. Like, so there was actually one night in Osaka. Um, why didn't I guess I was too cheap or too poor to rent a
Oh,
place because I was still unemployed at that time. So I ended up actually trying to sleep like on the stairs of like a subway when it was all closed. And I was
oh
just
wow.
like huddled up and like, God damn.
You can't just relax. Oh man.
Yeah. So, all
Is it?
right. How about albums? Like, I know there's tons, but it's more bands, right? Because like for you as a reactor, I mean, you're like reacting to songs. But as far as albums, like, how often do you get to experience a new album and then just like say, shit, this is something special?
There's a couple I sat down and made a point to listen to all the way through, and it's a couple Canadian bands, Red Handed Denial and Unleash the Archers.
Mm, mm,
And partly because I talked to the singers from the bands,
mm,
which is really cool for me to do, but that's part of it. But the music itself is so freaking good, man. Unleash the
mm,
Archers is one of those bands that I listen to frequently, and
mm.
it's like a safety net. Like Unleash the Archers, Bandmade, those bands are always like, I just know what it's just going to be a good time. But
Mm,
Unleash the Archers has a great story arc through their albums, and this one was really cool.
mm,
Red Handed Denial was something that I knew had some cool songs, and the more I listened to them, like, dude, this there's so many just banger songs, and then the new album has a little more kind of synth vibe to it a little bit, but it still goes super freaking heavy. But
mm.
I can't remember what the name of Nemophila have it out. No, not Nemophila and Hanabier. They had new stuff out, but yeah, I guess as far as albums go, Red Hand Denial's new one, Journey was it Journey Through Utopia or Digital Utopia or something? I can't even remember the right name.
Mm. I see you care a lot about the album.
I know, dude. I listened to him, but I don't know. I can't list any details. It's horrible. But what about your
Actually, the
albums?
funny thing about Red-Handed Denial,
Yeah.
what's her name? Lauren, what's the singer's name?
Uh, God, seriously,
Lauren
Babic, Lauren Babic.
Babic. I actually saw her do a cover with a couple of the singers like months ago, maybe last year sometime. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, this is pretty good stuff. They did some cover of, I think, like My Chemical Romance
yeah.
or something. And then I remember seeing you had mentioned them on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I know this girl. I totally know this girl. So that was cool.
A
That was cool to
Journey Through
see.
Virtual Dystopia is their new album.
Hmm.
I gotta get the proper. Gotta look that up. I gotta look on Alicia Archers. Yeah, she's really cool, man. She's super busy and just fun to talk to.
Hmm.
So it was really cool. And Phantoma was Unleash the Archers.
Hmm.
Doo, doo, doo. So check out those bands.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I'm pretty Japan exclusive.
Yeah,
So, as far as albums that I found myself like pretty taken with this year in particular, the first one that really caught me off guard and surprised me was from Nekomeshi 222.
that
And
seems
it's
like
funny because I remember, Hmm.
I didn't even place that like this year, dude. Like seriously, 'cause it's like God. There's been so much. Go ahead though. Sorry.
Yeah, so I remember you had done a reaction of their song Vortex of
Mm-hmm.
Emotions. You're talking about them, how you loved it. And that wasn't my favorite song. I thought it wasn't bad, but it didn't like totally grab my attention.
Yeah.
And then because they're under blacklisted records, and Yushi-san, who I'm pretty close to, who's helped me out tons in like everything,
Mm.
um, he gave me a copy of the album. And then I listened to the album and I was like, oh shit, this is really amazing. This is good stuff. And actually, they premiered it at the Foxhole with Ryan, not with Ryan, with Russ Henry and then Jake Davila.
Yeah.
And then but I was hearing it through like my really cheap like 2012 laptop speakers, so I could only
Oh
get so much of it. I could only get so much. I was like, okay, it's not bad. But then hearing the CD like with the cans on and just listen, I was like, God, this is so like old school thrash, like so
yeah.
stripped down, like like nothing too reverb heavy. It was just the right amount of like not too dry, not too wet. Like the riffs, like I was never the biggest thrash guy, but if it's like for me, the only phrase I can think of is just like tasty riffs, tasty licks.
Sure.
Like if I hear something and I just God, I just want to just drink that shit up.
They're the
Like it's
ones that
so
make you
good.
go, yeah, dude,
Yeah,
yeah, that's fucking, that's got it.
ugh, ugh.
They got the
And I mean,
juice.
like that entire album. I mean, there's just so much good stuff. And I was just listening. I was like, ugh, this is good. Raizo has this almost, what's the word? Not nostalgic, but it's like this almost, um, not 80s. What's the word I'm looking for? There's this like sort of older style of singing, the way that she sings things, and then when she goes like into her death voice, into her growl,
Yeah,
like that blend and just everything together, like I think Zakuro, the founder and the composer and guitarist, I think he's amazing. Like I think he made some awesome stuff.
they Nikomeshi. They do. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to explain it to you. It's thrashy, but they're like blending. They're like blending this line between like thrash and metalcore, I guess. And you
Right,
can't really
right.
place it in either one. It's just like for me, where I like old school thrash, where it's riff heavy. Like, dude, that riff is
Mm,
freaking awesome. But then you get all those
mm.
metalcore elements with the vocals, kind of acrobatics and stuff like that, which I just love too. It's a really cool band.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So,
know,
like, have you heard the whole album?
yeah, I've been through it like once. That's the problem I have is like I listen to
Uh,
so much shit through the week. It's like what
right.
did I
Yeah.
did I listen to? You know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's something I'd like. I need to listen to that. I need to listen to the Gunga stuff. I need to drag down. It's not fair to these bands. There's so many bands. It's like a weird conundrum. Like there's so many good bands. You can't listen. You can't give each one the time they deserve. If you're
Yeah.
trying to find
Yeah.
more stuff.
Yeah. So again, like I said, like I personally decided to like restrict myself from like veering too much and trying to listen to everything. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that people have mentioned. Like I know a lot of bands and their names and the songs, but I'm just like, no, I want to savor these bands right now, and I haven't yet, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like that's what I've had to do. Um, but along with Nikomeshi with that album, Whistling Arrow, great stuff for anybody who
Ooh.
hasn't listened to it, and especially if you love thrash and like metalcore. But recently, this is June 28th and June 29th, um, pretty much back to back. It was Brideyear releasing their new album Born Again, and then Gungre releasing their EP Incitement.
Hmm.
Like man, I just was like listening to both of those things. And it was hard because like for me, like I'm the guy when what's that bandmate song? About Us? About Us.
Sure.
I when that first dropped, I listened to that song literally on loop whenever my ears were available, like hundreds.
Yeah.
Maybe like a couple hundred times. I kid you not,
Wow.
straight, like nothing else. And there's certain songs that do that. Like Bestie is actually one of them, and it's not even my favorite bandmate song.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to it in a while, but there's just certain songs that grab me. But like with Bright Ear and Gangire, like both of those albums. So these two just man, they just got me really, really good.
Awesome.
So Bright Ear, this they ended up going to Sweden to record this.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Um 10 songs. Let's see. Produced, mixed, mastered by Frederick Nordstrom Strom, who's done a lot of stuff. I think he may have done Arch Enemy as well.
Uh,
There's quite a few different like bands. He's pretty well known. I didn't know him. But yeah, so it's such a good album. It's so well produced, so well crafted. And do you know, I don't know if you know, but like certain bands, you can tell it's really crafted.
yeah.
Like their songs are really crafted. Like there's this really like you can tell that like there's architecture, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
Like, they put time and thought and effort into how to put things and how to sound things and like So fantastic albums, both of them. One of Brighter's best, and I think one of Gangida's best, Incitement, the CP. So good. So hearing all those songs, like all of it off the album that night that we went together.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's cool hearing stuff for the first time live and then still having it be like uh, you can digest it and understand how good it is in a live situation. I
Yeah.
mean, credit to the sound and everything that night, but that's a well crafted song because sometimes live isn't the best way to experience things for the first time.
Hmm.
I heard so many bands like that night. You had Femtocell and Newell were just awesome, dude. There were two bands I never heard of,
Right.
and they were really, really cool. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was awesome. There's a couple of surprise bands that stuck out for me was Muku, Muque, with and it's really
Yeah, I
chill.
remember you
And
being
dude,
on.
I
Yeah.
listened to that song, My Crush. I listened to probably like I don't know, just so many times. I could not get enough of it. Then the next song came out, and I couldn't get enough of that. And it led to like Chili Beans and Chill Spot and some really mellow stuff that was just kind of like therapeutic for me. I think that I would just
Hmm.
I'd see it on a request. I'm like, oh, cool. I get to chill out and just kind of drift. But yeah, that was a band I listened to quite a bit. Really
Hmm.
enjoyed.
Hmm.
But then, yeah,
Yeah.
they're so fun.
You know,
Haven't
like I
responded.
remember you
Go
because
ahead.
like I'll follow and I'll pay attention to like what you're posting and who you're interested in. I'll check them out
Yeah,
like every once in a while. Not everything because there's just so much, but
yeah,
I did check out, is it Mook, whatever. So
yeah.
I listened and I was like, okay, it was okay for me. Didn't quite grab me, I think, the way it did you.
Hmm.
Um, but that's how we are, right? As musicians, composers, what we listen to. It's weird how I feel like we have so much overlap with things we like, but then there are things where I think naturally, realistically, we just don't.
Yeah.
But such
Uh,
is music, right? Which is funny. I think it's like I've done this with SJ. I'm like, oh, you're gonna love this, and he's like,
eh.
eh.
Nah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Did you got to see Demrays, right? Live?
Yeah, so they were actually the first band I saw beginning of the year.
Okay.
Actually, in February I saw them, and it was cool because my first show with them, they did a floor
Yeah, that's
live.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
Remember you
so
saying that.
the fact that they were actually on the floor, the fact that like Naho the bassist was like right here, and I'm like just like, oh shoot, you're like right there.
Giving you energy.
Um, because I had seen their music videos, but never had it given off the kind of energy that Naho has. Like she's one of those like performers that's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like she just goes off. Like
Yeah, and I paid
it's
for the live stream of that show, and I watched it. I meant to like watch it and talk about it and stuff, but I just watched it and her kept watching now, just freaking. She's nuts, dude.
yeah, yeah. But
It's
it's
awesome.
it's fun, dude. It's fun. So yeah, so they were actually, the first band I saw beginning of the year, and I had to because again I was unemployed for quite a few months,
Yeah.
so I was like, God, okay, just I'll spend a couple thousand yen, should be all right. Went to their show, and I was like, oh, this is good stuff. Like I really love Akani's voice.
Hmm.
Um, I really feel like she's. mm, there's a similar quality to her and to Regan in terms of how well they growl and like do their death voice and how well they sing.
Okay.
Like they're such amazing singers, like that duality. But then in addition, the other nuance is that Akane has that really mellow, laid back rap style too.
I dig that, dude. That's some of my
Um,
favorite stuff of theirs is when she just goes into like a flow.
yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
hell
yeah.
yeah, man.
So, and that's kind of like a newer generation thing, like adding in that element of hip hop and like the electronics. So, um, but yeah, so. you know, I've loved that EP, but that was from last year. But hearing their new song was really good too. I really like their new song as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
So
trying to.
I actually will see them again this coming Friday, and then I'm going to see them again like the first week of September. So I'll be seeing them like three times in like three
Oh, cool.
weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, so they're a really good band. Um, yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, you know, like I don't know. I mean, gosh, I have albums and things, and
It
I
is.
feel like Ariel, whatchamacallits, doodads galore, and yeah, but but
I'm
yeah, so yeah.
gonna throw a link into the chat
Hmm.
because I've got some interviews with some of these bands, not all of them, but some of them,
Hmm.
and but with
Hey,
Nekamishi,
SJ.
Nekamishi, Dimrays, Saisega, Gungure,
Yeah, we have a lot
Red
of
Hand of
overlap with
Denial.
interviews too.
Yeah, we do. We do. It's cool to get the different. I don't know. They're all different when you talk to them. What's up, Alpha Omega? Thanks for the super chat, man. Um,
On Sirius. I like Sirius. They've never blown me away. They're definitely because there's three bands under that label. The biggest sort of their headpiece is Full Moon. There's Sirius, there's Empress. That's Zillion mode. But with Sirius, they're the hardest. Yeah, they're the most, I think, metal out of the three of them.
yeah.
They're good. I like them. And then one of their guitarists, Sumire, like she's a huge Bandmate fan. So she actually got a pair of the Bandmate ribbon glasses, sunglasses, and she was
Oh,
actually at another show recently too. So that's a cool thing.
right on. Yeah, I mentioned
But as, yeah.
Made the hormone said Ryan Peter and chat. My faves for 24 are Mellows, Hitsuji Bungaku,
Mm.
Stimulate, and Regal Lily. Dude, Toro Nokarami. God, dude, there's so many bands. Toro Nokarami is absolutely one of my favorite bands. Everything they do is so unique. You know it's them.
Did you
Like,
like their new song?
yeah, yeah. They're also. Oh God, there's so many bands. I feel bad because Mellows
And
is
you haven't
another
seen
one.
them yet.
No, I haven't
You
seen
haven't
them
seen
yet.
them yet.
Mellows is another one that I freaked out when I heard him for the first time, and everything's been cool. Stimulate's one that I've heard. I think that's how they say it. The STMLT.
Yeah,
Um,
Stimulato,
yeah, seen a
STMLT.
few
Yeah,
things from them.
STML.
Really cool stuff. And Regal Lily is one of an earlier band that I checked out, and they got like the video got blocked before I really knew what the hell I was doing. So I was like, I'm not gonna mess with them then. And then recently,
Mm.
the guy's been requesting a live show they did at Hibiya Park, and every song is just amazing, dude. It's so cool. So if you don't know about Regal Lily either, check them out. Hitsuji Bungaku, Stimulate, Mellows, all great bands. There's so many. I
Yeah,
like.
see
Go ahead.
the interesting thing with Mellows is I just listened to a couple of the songs this past week because Hero from J Rock Tours had said because I asked them like when I saw him at the Dim Ray show, I was
Ah,
like, so who are you kind of into right now? And then he mentioned Mellows, and I heard Melrose. I was like Melrose,
huh.
and then I heard it again. I was like, oh
Oh, right.
Melrose.
Right.
But one of the guitarists, not Sally, not the lead guitarist, but the rhythm, Gina, she's the guitarist for Bad Bubble, whom I've
Yeah.
been seeing quite a bit this year, like at least three, four separate times. And I've been getting to know the bassist, Natsuo, and I went to the show for her birthday, which Gungide also played at. And Natsuo was also there that night that you were there.
Yeah.
And I remember her head about to get like smashed in by like people crowd
Yeah.
surfing. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Are they? I saw something like the next day or when I got back that they weren't gonna. The band was not gonna continue or something. Are they gonna keep going? Bad Bubble.
Yeah, so Bad Bubble, they are going to continue. I'm not sure in what form, in what incarnation. Um, but they had a support drummer for the longest time
Yeah,
because their original drummer, like, I don't know the reasons exactly. Um, but I don't think they're going to break up entirely
good.
permanently. I think it's more hiatus. And they should be back. So,
Okay, that's good.
but yeah, like, but what's been interesting, like Toko from Saiseiga actually did support drums for Bad Bubble the last time I saw them.
Oh wow.
And so that was cool to see.
Yeah.
But with her playing, and then they also have a support drummer called Chiho, and both of them have a heavier sound than the previous like original drummer. And so their music has gotten heavier, like from the last time I saw them, like
Ah.
back in Osaka. And it sounds good. It sounds good. There's this group called Team A Thrash, which I think some people know about. Um, and I don't know if I guess he's the head, Yamamoto-san. I've been seeing him quite a bit too, because I'm going to all these shows here. Um, but shoot, who are we talking about? Oh my
Exactly,
gosh.
dude. You know it's a good problem when we keep just rambling on because of our love of a band. Because you asked about the new song from Total no Kurami. I actually haven't heard it. I got it saved so I could listen to it. I
Ah,
still need to listen to it. So I'm like, I'll save this for later. And oh my god, this fucking idiot in the chat.
it's amazing. If you actually watch that video, it captures the energy and the experience of a Toronto Kurami show
Okay.
so well. They actually brought in a whole bunch of fans as extras and
Oh,
participated.
cool, man.
It's wild. Like it's you'll love it. You'll love
All
it.
right.
You'll absolutely love it.
Thank you, Bill Hallisey, for the super chat, man. Appreciate it, brother. I've seen Bill in a few shows, few bandmate shows. I'm sure you did too, Peter. He says
Have I?
thanks for all you do to enlighten old farts like me about J rock and music in general. Maybe I don't know. He's been on the show.
Bill and I have the same birthday. We're both October 6th.
See, that's awesome.
We discovered that like this past week.
Cool, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
such a generous guy. Such a generous guy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, he brought a lot of gifts for the band and everything. So, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Um,
What did I have listed here? Muku dragged down bandmate. LED. Yeah, I don't know, man.
this is albums we're talking about now, I feel like. Or not.
I don't know. We went way off.
Yeah. All right, let's get back. Okay. So you kind of mentioned a couple, and like I do agree that it's like one of the things is that experience with fans. But one of the things I want to talk about was like top moments of this year so far.
Hmm.
So not necessarily a concert itself, like the band, and not necessarily like an album, but just a moment related to music somehow. So whether it be like meeting Drag Down or something in Gangire or whatever else, like top moments for you this year.
Man, let's see. I guess you just got to go with whatever sticks out. So, um, Bohoje-san, who a lot of people know and familiar with, organizes
Mm,
a lot of events around band-made concerts, a lot of get-togethers and stuff and dinners. And to go
mm,
to see him every time I go is just special. Anyway, he's just a great friend.
mm,
That he organized a meet for me to meet fans of my channel, who there
mm.
is all Japanese, and I got to go. We went into a King Echo and sat in a
You're
room.
like Tom Cruise. You're like Tom
Yeah.
Cruise in Last Samurai.
And it's weird even I don't know, dude. It's so fun. I go in and we sit down and there's a couple people that are, pretty proficient in English. So they would translate what someone said to me and I would answer them back and they translate. And it was just so cool to interact with these people in person because I've talked to a lot of them online through comments and whatever, live
Mm,
streams and stuff. And to spend that time with them kind of uninterrupted and just being able to be there, check out some bandmate videos, and just share experiences was probably one of the moments that'll just stick out for probably the rest of
Hmm.
my life. Just being able to do that. So
Oh,
I can't thank him
that's
enough. Yeah, I mean it was
hmm,
incredible. I talked to
hmm.
people about their extensively Disan and Shinami
Ah,
about their experiences and just where they they've lived all over the world and just
yeah.
it's so interesting to meet all these people and just have a thing in common with them at all is amazing to me.
Yeah. You know, Disan, she was probably one of the first people that at Tokyo Garden Theater, so that was January, Tokyo Garden Theater,
Mm,
and we had started our channel in November of the previous year, so only a couple months.
yeah.
But I remember I was interviewing people, and then she kind of like was walking by and just kind of like was waving, and
Yeah.
I was like, do I know you? Like I was trying to like place her face. I was like, I had never quite had that experience. Like I know
Yeah.
you had it like previously, and like people were like, oh Ryan,
Yeah.
hey. But Tokyo Garden Theater was like the first time where people were like, hey, you're Peter, right? Oh, Pita-san, Pita-san.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Disan, it was cool. Yeah, she's really cool. And I randomly, because she lives kind of around where I live now in Tokyo, randomly I was biking home and I took a different route. She was walking, I was biking, and we ran into each other
Oh
at
wow.
night.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So she's really cool. But yeah, definitely the experience with fans like that is something special.
Yeah, it
Anything
is.
else?
It is, man. Definitely when I went to Antioch, I went there with Juice from the Discord.
Hmm.
We traveled down there together and found the venue like I don't know a couple hours early, and it was open. So I was like, well, let's go get you a ticket or something. So I went as I was going down the stairs. I passed a Taichi, the bass player for
Ah, right,
Kingare,
right.
and I recognized him like Taichi-san, and he turned around. He's like, oh, Matsu-san. It's like, hi. So he took me back down, and Matsu was there. And then he was obviously surprised to see me because I mean, I think they were aware I was going to be there, but not a couple hours early.
Hmm.
And he said,
Hmm.
Drag Down had just finished their set, and so I hung around for a little bit, and then Kenji came out, and he was surprised to see me too, and Katsuki was there, the drummer. So
Hmm.
ran into him. Then it was awkward because it's a lot easier to talk via text on computer when neither of you speak the
Right,
other's language. So it kind of
right.
communication broke down. We got a couple photos, but when at the show, once you showed up, because I couldn't really talk to them and say like, dude, really love your music. And their drag down's appreciation for their fans is, um,
Right,
it's
right.
just there and out front. They really appreciate it. So when you showed up and you're like, hey, if you want to kind of talk to them a little bit more, I can translate for you. I said, dude, that'd be awesome. So we walked over there, and then
Right.
I
No,
got we
you
got
never paid me for that.
no, I didn't. I'll get you back on that. But we were able to have an exchange and show appreciation, and that really meant a lot, man. It was really cool. So
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
connecting. I mean, just like it's something special. Like that's kind of the cool thing about um, I didn't expect it. Like starting like MNN with SJ. Um, I never knew about this side. Like I had watched like reaction channels, but not really music. I watched like TV show movie reactors.
oh yeah,
Like that's kind of what I get into. Just to see their experience of like that moment where like Luke Skywalker comes out in The Mandalorian or like whatever else.
yeah,
So, um, but yeah, like I had no idea about how much you can end up connecting with people and fans and enjoying the experience of like the community and just how generous and like thoughtful and caring people can be and supportive. And it's wild, you know? Like that's been a top experience for me for the past year and a half, going on 2 years for sure. Um,
Yeah, I went out after was it after the bandmate show? I can't remember. It was before or after. I went out with ramen first with a few people, Hiko san and D san and
Mm.
Shinami and oh my gosh, these names that I try so hard to remember. But it was we just went out for some food,
Mm.
and it was just a normal thing, which is you didn't have to like organize around a time to meet to go into the show or get merch or anything like that. It was just like a normal thing people do. So it was just
Mm.
some moments like that that I don't know, man. Like I said, I thought it would be like, dude, I got to see Bandmate in Japan. It was the greatest thing, but that wasn't the greatest thing. It was the
Mm.
catalyst to what would be the greatest things about the trip,
Mm.
and it feels. I can't believe it. I'm like even glossing over the fact that I got to see them in Japan
Mm.
because that was amazing in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I get it. I get it.
yeah, just because of that, it's
No,
wild.
I mean, we definitely love music on a level that's like it goes pretty deep and it goes pretty far.
Yeah.
Um, but I think at the heart we both appreciate people. I think that's why I appreciate you, and I think you appreciate me.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
So I get that. I totally get that. But for me, I did kind of do more of the things, especially with my moving here.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of my top moments have been with Hades, just because I spent so much time with them. Um, and like here I am like editing this video and I'm grabbing like footage, like the first time I did a live stream chat about them after their show, my first interview with them, the first band I ever interviewed,
Yeah.
like all these little things. And I'm still blown away and amazed at how much I love these girls. Like I care for them so much, like so much, and I want so much for them. But the fact that I got to be at the filming of their music video, no. Um, mm, yes, that's a special one. Not everyone
That
can get
is.
that.
Yes.
Um, I got to sit in on a rehearsal. So
Yeah,
they
you
were
did.
rehearsing for a show. So I just sat down, like watching them, and I was like cheering them on. So that was awesome. And then like with you that night, like hanging out with them afterwards and the snacks and just um like I hadn't really had a chance to just hang out with them like that.
Yeah.
So it was nice that you were there too to experience that. Like that was really, really fun.
It was seeing having snacks like that. They're just weird, and seeing these reactions and kind of me too because I hadn't had a lot of them either. So it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Sharon, that's a moment that that we
It's
all kind
surreal.
of
It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's fun, super fun.
yeah. And I think it's cool because I think because of that experience, like Hades has started doing like monthly like live stream chats.
Awesome.
So to see that happen, that's really cool too. Um, so there was that. The live stream interview I got to do with Dim Rays in Harajuku.
Mm,
Like that was really fun because I'd interacted a bit like online with them because we were trying to do an interview and it was just really tough.
yeah.
And the fact that I had to come to Tokyo to do an interview with them when they're an Osaka band and I
Yeah.
was in Osaka too. But that was so much fun. Talking with them, getting to know them. Yeah, like just really cool little tidbits. So I would love to hang out more with those girls and get to know them better too and do more stuff with them too. But that was a really cool moment for me. And then the other one too was just hanging out with Whiskey Dust. Like I had
uh,
interviewed them last year, but then it wasn't really until this year. I think now I've seen them like 4 or 5 times, and they're a fun bunch. Like Aya the singer and Erica the guitarist. At some point, I want to just jam with Erica because she's so awesome. Um,
Van Halen.
yes. Yeah, yeah, Van Halen.
Yeah,
But it's fun stuff. So,
man. Well, what else? I saw Otto in Chicago, dude, which was insane. Like,
hmm,
it's an insane, awesome show. Like, it's a person who I admittedly hadn't listened to a lot other than the live streams, and so to go see a show like that and just be blown away,
hmm,
it was incredible, man. Rolling Courts, see them too.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, I still have to give them a little bit more, like, yeah, just something about something about the backlash of my having lived in Korea and not had the best experience with Koreans.
Hey, they're pretty sweet. I tell you, they're super sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
Yeah.
are. I know they're really grateful for their overseas fans.
Oh yeah. Hanabi, I got to see him a few times now, but
I've yet to see them.
and that I saw him in Minneapolis earlier in the year, and then the last time I saw him was in Chicago, and
Hmm.
it was an incredible show, man. It was really awesome. I got to be uh, was that? Yeah, I ended up being right up front on the corner by Matsuri, and it was awesome.
Hmm.
Seeing her sing live, dude, is just something else, man. It's
Hmm.
amazing. So
Hmm.
I don't know, so many bands. I think one of the standout things was going to see the Tiger because it wasn't planned.
Hmm.
Like the everything else was, I knew I was going to see the bands, and
Hmm.
so for me, I was like literally like, I have nothing to do today. I'm exhausted. I'm not doing shit. I'm just going to sit here and I'll go out
Hmm.
and get food when I'm hungry. And then I got that message from Nogard. I'm like, where is this
Hmm.
place? And so I didn't have, there's no plan to go there. So I went, showed up at this, what was it? I can't remember the name of the venue. The Upset, Club Upset. And, there was
Never
like
heard of
four or
it.
five people in line. And, I used a bit of battered Japanese to like get a ticket and see if I could still buy a ticket. Then went in and it was just totally cool. Like I went in, a band called Wendy played, which I'd never heard of, and they were great. And the singer
Hmm.
splits his time between like New Orleans and Japan, so his English is great. So I could talk to him.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, the Mayans, I think, was the second band. Interesting, not my thing. And then the Tiger came out and just I'd only heard like two songs from them. They're
Hmm.
incredible, dude. The energy from them was just awesome, and like not
Hmm.
knowing anybody there, it just didn't matter. Like everybody's enjoying themselves, and
Hmm.
once I realized I could take some video, I got a couple songs on video. I didn't get one picture with either of the bands. I talked to each one for a couple minutes. I was like, oh my god,
Hmm.
failed on that front, but I think that was a pretty cool moment. I don't
Hmm.
know
Yeah, there's ton.
how big can a
I
moment be.
think, like, on the one hand, there are those moments like I have with fans, and someone actually just mentioned, I think it was Jeff Fenn who mentioned when Band Aid, the Korean cover band, came
Ah,
over, and that was really cool because like a lot of different fans did kind of pitch in to help buy them like all this merch. And just a few weeks ago, they performed and they were wearing the wristbands that I had bought for them,
yeah,
like with the fans. And like going back, I was seeing like pictures of all the merch and stuff, and just I don't know. It's like knowing that we can contribute in the least way to give them more of Bandmate was just awesome. So that was really something really special. So on the like having these talks with fans and just hanging out with them, like that's really cool. And then on the other side of it, especially because I'm here in Japan and because I am able to speak Japanese, like the interactions that I have with a lot of bands and band members, like that's really fun too.
mm,
Um, that in addition to, I'll always be like, can I take photos for you? Can I take
yeah,
photos for you? Can I take?
yeah.
Because like I love it. It's a huge hobby of mine. Like I love taking photos, and I think up until now I've maybe shot photos for like 30 bands
Wow.
just because there's just so many.
Yeah, man, that's where I think because a lot when I'm there, I'm trying to just not be in the way and just be like a person who's at the show. I'm not trying to. I just want to be there and see the show. So I'm not like, hey,
Mm.
like I can't communicate effectively to be like, hey, I've interviewed you remotely. Would it be cool if I took some video during this show? But it's just like I'm just there, and like with Drag Down, I don't know if I could have took video or photos or not, but I didn't. Like I got a photo
Yeah.
before the show and after the show, and then I think with Gungade, like I realized it was cool, so I got some stuff for them. But
Mm.
so I don't know.
Right.
I probably missed out on a
So
lot of opportunity I could have had, but next time, I guess.
learn the phrase for can I record? Can I
Yeah.
do a video? Yeah.
Okay.
動画撮っていいですか？動画撮っていいですか？
動画撮っていいですか? What you
Hmm.
gotta do
So
that?
動画 is video.
Okay.
動画 is video. And then 撮っていいですか is can I take it? Can I record it?
Okay. 動画撮っていいです
Yeah.
か? Okay.
So everyone out there who is in the chat and watching this, 動画撮っていいですか? When you go to a smaller show,
Right.
and then for picture, it's 写真. 写真撮っていいですか? And there's quite a few bands that are okay with it, like in the smaller lighthouses.
Yeah.
Like Dim Rays was cool with it, so I did photos for them, and um, yeah, so that's some good stuff. I don't know, man. Just
Yeah. If I'd
I
see
I
somebody, this usually works too. Yeah. But yeah. Because, like, if I was there and people weren't, I just didn't. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be the asshole and start taking video because I didn't want to do
I feel
that,
like every time I talk to you while you're here in Japan, you're like, damn it, I didn't do this. Damn it, I
For
didn't
sure.
do
Yeah.
that.
100%, dude. It's such a, if I was like popping over to the next state,
Uh,
it'd be different. Like, oh, okay, I'm here. I can do this and that. But with the travel and the sleep deprivation and the excitement of just being there,
mm,
so many things just get like pushed out of what do
mm,
you want to call it? Prominence in my mind. I don't know.
mm.
But yeah,
That's like
it's
the first thing
definitely
I
true.
think. Like I walk in, I'm like, okay, ask them this. And then like I just make a beeline for it.
Yeah, I walk in. I'm like, oh my god, I'm here. Now what? Do I have enough money? Hmm.
Okay, how about songs? I know there's tons. I know there's
Oh my god,
tons, but like maybe more recently, songs that just like, ugh, so good.
man. Did I write down any songs? I don't think I got to songs. I mean, with the amount of stuff that has come from Bandmate lately, that's awesome.
Mm.
Waiting for the new stuff,
But
but
are they tops? Are they tops?
are they tops? What sticks out in my head, dude? I don't know. Protect You, I think, is pretty awesome.
I can't get down with Protect You.
No?
The ooh la 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 la. I can't do that.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Show Them's awesome. That's a topic
Hmm.
that people like to fucking argue about. I think it's great. I do.
Like for me, I can't separate my experience of seeing them on stage all together and hearing it live,
Yeah.
like at the show. So like that's like a top five bandmate moment like ever. So
That's cool, man. I'm
um
glad. I just think I think the whole like that it happened is really cool, and it's for those of you that got to see it. I don't know who I've seen that with. You know what I mean? Like, not a singer guesting on a song, but like they fucking wrote this song together and performed it live. It's just freaking cool, man.
hmm, yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, I do like Bestie. So yeah, like I mentioned previously, like in terms of 2024, but again, it's like it's not my favorite bandmate song, and it's not like I feel like I had to listen to it all the time. But I remember when it dropped, there was something about the groove, the laid back quality, the like California sunset driving PCH, just like
Hmm.
taking in like the friendship and just celebrating that. I don't know, it connected really deep. So I was listening to that thing like just for a couple of days straight, nothing else.
I listened to it quite a
Um,
bit too, man. That was one early. I don't know. Some people, if they're here, they might know. There's a. I just saw it again. There was a one of the bandmate songs I listened to. I compared them to Incubus,
hmm,
and then like, oh, you knew ahead of time. It's like, no, I didn't. There's just a moment in the song that reminded me of them. But then, so and that's a band I liked and listened to heavily for many years. So for that, to me, it was like, dude, there's this connection between these two bands,
hmm.
and just so immediate, like when those first notes happen, it's like that's an Incubus song, like with that riff, just how it is. But then it just,
Don't it
yeah, it's
don't it
just
don't.
different. And then when
Yeah.
it goes into the rest of it, it's like, yeah, it's a really cool song, and just to have a band that I know and love for like a big part of my youth work with bandmate is fucking wild, dude. It's like,
Hmm.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
So out of the songs from this year that the Maids have played, including like, towards the end, like last year as well, that'll be on the new
Oh,
album.
there's so many.
I think Bestie was the one that it just really got me. And again, even though it's not my favorite, it just really got me.
But Shambles is
Um,
included in that, right?
yeah, and that's a great song. Like that's
Shambles
a
is
great
freaking
song.
great, dude. Hell yeah.
Live, that thing goes on fire.
Dude, the lead into that, the extended lead into Shambles, that was incredible, dude.
It's good stuff. Uh, but I would say in terms of, and this goes back to my top albums, like especially more recently, I would say Born Again, maybe even Empty Mind from Ryder's new album,
Yeah.
and then While I'm Alive from Incitement, the Gunky Day EP. That
Mm.
was it the song, the lyrics, the melody, the mood, it reminded me I got this image of like Stranger Things. Like did
Yeah.
you watch it with Sadie Sink? I don't know the redhead
Yeah.
where she's like trapped and she's like trying to get out and they're playing like running up that
Run
hill
up
from
that hill.
Kate
Yep.
Bush.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I it captured like I don't know, man. If you listen to that music and you just picture that scene, it fits
Yeah.
so well.
Right on.
Just while you're alive, you know? And like it's such a powerful sentiment, like while you're alive,
Wow.
you know? I don't know. I almost want to cry just thinking about that. While I'm so good. So good. And just Nana's voice for vocals on that song. Just really touching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
it's good
one.
stuff.
I think I remember you telling me about that, and I don't think I hadn't heard it before seeing it live,
Uh
and I was surprised that was this because I think you told me when it was coming up. I'm not. I think, and I was surprised how heavy it
hmm.
was because it starts out kind of almost. Um,
Well, she
what do I want to
sings it.
say?
It's like while I'm alive. Dun, dun.
Right.
It's like there's like keys. It's
Yeah.
very light. Yeah.
But then it gets pretty heavy though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 So I was like, oh shit, okay. Here we're going. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I love the blend of heavy and hard when they do it. Like not heavy and hard, like heavy, hard, and like soft and melodic when they do it right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Because for me,
Has the chat stopped?
like I need melody. I need melody. Like I can't listen to bands that are pure just growling and death voice like straight through. Um, but if you have both, like I can dig it. I'm definitely down. Chat working? Yeah.
Not on my
Oh, it's been on the same
screen.
spot? Oh, okay. I've just been like I've just opened up the YouTube
Yep.
page without actually playing the video.
Yeah.
Oh, to answer a question, I think it was Alpha. Yeah, it's very easy to talk to members of bands in Japan. You just have to have the balls to talk to them. You just go up and say hi. I mean, it depends on how much you want to talk to them too.
Oh yeah. Even me. Like they're super thankful, man, just to have people at their shows. And
Hmm.
bands that I see is just just rock stars are just they're all super humble.
Yeah.
So yeah, even
Because,
with the limited, I can say hello and my name is or whatever, but they're just glad that you're there, man. That's so fun.
yeah. And yeah, you just yeah, you just gotta like again, even like me like again the first time I met Hades, like last year, like before I even did the interview when I just found them on YouTube. Like I went to the show and I was like, "Hey, my name's Peter. I loved your show. You're great." Like just complimenting them is a very simple thing to do.
Yeah.
Like I loved your music. It was awesome, you know. And then I'll slip in with by the way, I have a YouTube channel. Would you like to do an interview sometime? I've used that line quite a bit.
I did do that with Wendy and the Tiger, and I guys from Wendy, if you see this, I'm sorry I haven't followed up on my my question.
What, Ryan?
I have. There's been interaction like I'm sorry, but I got to get some shit straightened out, but I'll get to them.
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes your stomach, no, your eyes are bigger than your stomach.
Right.
Yeah. Getting a little too anxious to like try to do so much and then yeah, you want to be a trustworthy person for sure. And I
Yeah.
don't think I've always followed through the way that I should.
It is difficult, man, when you have so much interaction.
Yeah.
I met Rolling Quartz and met the management, and they were familiar with my channel, and I was like, hey, I'd love to do an interview, and they're like, cool, email us, and I did, and I haven't heard back. I tried a couple times, but same thing on their end. I'm sure they got a ton of stuff going on and probably don't have, you just may not
Right.
have time. So I don't hold it
Right.
against them at all. I'll just try again later.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too, and this is coming not just as a fan, but as a content creator, YouTuber, and for me, it goes beyond to like making this into, I don't know if promoter is the word. I don't know what the word is for me. Um,
You're an interactor.
Here's my card, Peter Lynn, interactor.
If you want to interact, we can do that.
Let's interact. How do you want to interact? Um, but and I think I talked about this with you before. There are some bands who are so open and so down to interact and
Hmm.
to see where that takes them and that takes like your relationship with them. And there are some bands who just are fine and comfortable with where they're at with what they're doing, and they don't necessarily want your input or your help or your promotion,
Yeah.
you know? And so for me, it's sort of like traversing and figuring things out with this band, and trying not to take it personally when things don't quite work out with one band. And some bands, I'll love them, but maybe person-wise, as people, we don't quite connect, you know? It's
Yeah.
just, you're just figuring that out, you know? So I'm still figuring out my place
Sure.
in this world.
For sure. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interactor. I'm a YouTube interactor. Brian Allen says the term is music journalist. There you go.
Am I a journalist?
I don't know. Do you have to write down stuff more to be a journalist?
Favorite concert?
We tried that and kind of failed. I wrote things down, but yeah,
Hmm.
man. Yeah, I got to mention Nemophila too and how they went through some shit and they've come out super strong. Like showing what they can do
Mm.
with just going from a 5 piece, basically dual lead guitars all the time, and then like coming back and saying, "Yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to come back and do some rework some songs to change it to like a 4 piece," and I think that's pretty amazing.
Mm.
That's been kind of a highlight to see them like push on and kind of grow stronger maybe as a
Mm.
group. Because I don't know, founding members leaving a band sometimes really affects a band negatively.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually excited to see where Saki goes with things. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
to be honest, like Nemophila is a band that got really big pretty quickly, but I never quite got into them the way that other people did.
right.
Like I listened to their stuff, I liked it, but it never made me be like, yeah, I need to go see them live. I need to go. Even though like I'll see footage and I'm like, dude, Saki looked amazing. Like Haraguchi seems like so much fun and
Yeah,
like, things like that. But they're just one of those bands where sometimes, yeah, like I just don't quite connect the way they do with other bands. But no, yeah, definitely I do agree in terms of it's cool. It's cool to see bands persevere. It's cool to see people pursue their dreams and persist despite whatever
yeah,
obstacles or, because it's tough, man. Like yeah, you could easily be crippled by a situation like that.
yeah.
So,
And and I can't. We don't really know what happened, but it seemed whatever happened, Saki left, and the one producer left too. Their songwriter.
mm,
So, and to see Saki go on her own, and she put out like an ad, like basically looking for work. I'm like, what? You're a freaking rock goddess,
mhm.
dude. What are you doing? Like worried about working, and then to seeing that she's kind of like surprised at how many people want to see her. I'm like, dude, you don't understand.
Oh,
Like you're so. Because I caught some of
yeah.
her live stream where she was, I checked into it right when she was talking, to, like addressing the crowd, and
Mm,
she was barely holding it
mm,
together.
mm,
And it's like, man, so this decision, wasn't easy for anybody, and it had to be tough for her. And I was
mm,
happy to see that people were really responding, and that she is like, oh, people care, 'Cause,
yeah. And I think it definitely takes like like you gotta have balls to like jump out when I mean they had Justin Budokan,
yeah, dude, that's
right?
wild. Shit had to be going
So
on
it's
before that.
it's not even like the band had jumped shark. It's not even like they were on a downward, like trajectory. Like
Yeah,
they were going up and they could have kept on going up and getting bigger. But like I think Saki definitely is a true artist. Like a true genuine artist. Like I gotta do what I want to do
that's what I
and
get from
play
it.
what I want to play.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I get from it. Is there's just a difference in direction, and like I made a video about it, and it's like it's a relationship. Being in a band is a relationship, and if it's not working, it's better to get out of it
right.
than to push on, because it's not gonna end well. As hard as it is,
Well, I
leaving
don't
is
know.
the
Look,
best
look
thing
at
to
all
do.
these American bands. Like that's part of being in it.
Yeah, dude, look how awesome Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue are. No, fucking stop it, stop it.
I mean, that's just I don't know. Like, isn't that just part of how rock bands go? Like, that's how I grew up thinking about it, watching VH1 Behind the Music.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, most bands do kind of like fight with each other and
yeah.
like quit, come back, and
That's
they
still.
need the money or whatever else.
I guess it was still a workable relationship. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Uh, how about like newer bands like from this year that just kind of stood out to you? Like I had a couple bands I listed and people have been mentioning like Hagane, it was really cool. Like I was really
yeah,
happy to see them coming back, especially with Juna.
yeah.
And then Nagisa, the new singer. Um, at first I was like, yeah, I mean she's competent. She does cover the songs. And then now I'm like, damn, she's got a great voice. Like she's got a like yeah, she like hits the sweet spot once she hits those high notes.
She does.
Um,
I think Sakura, she was first time I heard him, like, dude, she's pretty awesome, awesome guitarist, you know. And
mm,
then so I
mm,
was like, yeah, it was cool. We'll see where they go. And then what, two of them left. Half the band like disappeared. I'm like, shit. But then she kept posting stuff like, here, here's stuff I'm working on or whatever, doing covers or whatever. So
mm,
she's still going.
mm.
So yeah, when I heard that June was joining the band, I'm like, dude, that's gonna be freaking monstrous. Yeah, the new stuff
Yeah,
sounds
like
good.
my first thought was like, dude, seeing Juna play this stuff live.
Yeah.
Because she's so small and just like wild, like
Yeah, she
animal, you know?
is too.
Like
She is too. So I hadn't really
with
seen her
like
much.
those
I'd heard about her from,
uh
was it Trident or Bright Ear? What was she in?
who?
Juna. Was it Bright Ear?
Juna? No,
She's in one of them. I could have swore.
not Bright
Must be
Ear.
Trident then.
Unless I missed
I
something.
think.
Maybe briefly, maybe before Natsumi came in.
Yeah, somebody in the chat's going to be like,
Maybe,
duh, it's this.
maybe.
Because I always
Yeah.
heard him talking, oh, it was better with Juna. It's like, whatever, dude.
Oh, Trident.
Trident. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem, yeah.
But so I'd heard
I
her and
don't
how,
follow Trident, so I don't know. Uh-huh.
right. I'd heard about her and how just monster she was on drums. So I'm like, dude, that's gonna be wild. So I checked out some videos of her just doing drum stuff. I'm like, dude, she's freaking wild.
She goes nuts,
Yeah,
yeah. She
super
goes
fun to watch.
nuts. But yeah, I'm really glad because I enjoyed their previous stuff. Like Black Cult was such an awesome song. I remember I actually saw your
Yeah,
reaction because I was wondering, oh, what does Ryan think about them?
yeah,
Um, yeah. So I think Nagisa is like an awesome addition, like vocally, and then Juna coming in, like yeah,
yeah,
it's so them like new but old, you know?
yeah.
And then like the other thing, the other band I kind of listed was the Stereo Gang. Like they
Uh,
just flew to Germany. They competed like, with all these different bands from around the world. They got third place. But it's cool. Like they definitely like respect sort of the old school blues rock, mentioning like Deep Purple, Motley Crue, AC/DC as influences and oh Nagi, sorry. Why did I
Nagi.
say Nagisa? Anyway. So yeah, just I'm curious to see where they'll go. And I think live they're much better than what their album like shows. I don't think it was produced quite as good as it could have been to
Yeah,
capture like what kind of band they really are. But I think great songwriting, a lot of maturity in what they do. And as people, they're just really sweet. Like I like them. Like when people are just sweet,
yeah.
I just like that. I just like that. So,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. Koei. I think they must have listened to some what people said about their music. Their first album was kind of, I don't know. Or their EP. I was like, all
Mm,
right, it's neat, but I'm not gonna listen to it much. Their new stuff, they've
mm,
gone a little heavier. They got
mm,
Kanade Sato on drums, and
mm,
uh, it seems like Waka Zayamon, who plays with East of Eden, she played on their EP, their recorded tracks they're
mm,
putting out. So the rhythm
mm,
section is insane, dude.
mm,
Kanade Sato is one of my favorite drummers. So their stuff's, I think it's going to be really interesting moving forward. Looking forward to more of that.
mm.
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I haven't. I know they dropped something new, but I haven't listened to it yet.
But yeah, East of Eden also. Polka Dot Stingray, they've been around a while, but I guess they were
They
they
came out
were
with
almost,
something
yeah, they're almost
recently.
not a thing. Like their last video, there's, if you look in the description, there's a lot of information about the band and what they've been going through.
Hmm.
So, but it seems like they'll be moving on, which is good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it never ends. Never ends.
Not much of a list for people to check out in this, but There's a lot of talk about a lot of bands.
I think we covered like our tops, our personal tops.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think we both are smart enough to know that there's no objective like top bands or top
Mm-mm.
songs.
I think there may be a
This,
band that people would expect, but there's so many, dude. Credit to
yeah.
the talent that's out there.
Hmm.
Man, when you make it hard to decide who's the best when Bandmaid's on there, that means there's a lot of damn good bands to choose from. I'll put it that way, I guess.
There's tons of stuff. Um, yeah. I'm actually going to be seeing Saki. What day is this today? 17th, 1, 2, in about 3 weeks. I'll be seeing them, Bright Ear, and Lonesome Blue.
Oh wow, Lonesome Blue.
There's this show's coming up 9/7. Rock by now.
Lonesome
See,
Blue
like
had,
last,
was it Natsumi?
like they're another band that I don't follow, so I actually don't know.
Well, Narumi was with Lonesome Blue, and then I think she left. So yeah, they've
Hmm.
had some shuffling going on too.
Hmm.
But I guess they're sticking with it, man. That's cool. Okay.
So any bands you want to see some new stuff from? Like I'm very excited. Like this year's been wild and it's going to be wild with all the new things coming out. But so like Brighter came out with their stuff. Again, like Gongita came out with their stuff. Dimrays, I don't know if they're gonna come out with an album or it's just gonna be like a couple more singles.
Yeah.
But Sega is coming out with a new album by
Yeah.
before the year's over.
Awesome.
So like, I posted a couple of their new songs like on MNN, but there's a song called Wolf, which is pretty awesome. And yeah,
I have to check
Regan
in on
just
that.
does. Regan does something to me.
Yeah, we we know. Oh, Gotrek. I didn't even mention Gotrek Spin. Holy crap, dude! I even saw them when I was over there. God, dude, so many interactions. I didn't get to talk
Mm,
to them because I've seen them. We had an interview with them, and then I saw them when I came back to Japan the second time. But I didn't get to
mhm,
really see him at all. Then this time there's like a high
mm.
five line after the show. It's literally all
Okay.
it was. And I come in there and they like recognized me, were shocked that I was there. I'm like, hey, and then I tried to talk a little bit and I just got pushed along, like moving along. But it was cool. But
Uh,
yeah, great
like
show.
that's another band like having like Angie come in, like she definitely like brought some new life, like her and Yuri, but
I agree. Yeah,
I've yet to see them. Uh, I would like to see them.
I definitely. They have
I'll
enough
be
like.
I'll
Huh?
actually be going to I think I'll be going to the Dolls Box show
Oh
in
my god,
December.
I want to see that so bad, dude. God,
So
so bad. Because you're
that
gonna see
should
them
be
both,
fun.
right? They're playing together. Is
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
You're gonna have a hell of a time, Dan.
That should be fun.
And, I mean, you can't pick one of them because they're all just nuts energy wise. But Angie does not stop. And if she's not singing, she's still singing every word as she's running around the stage, just promoting everybody.
She's
She's
young.
amazing, dude.
She's
She's
young.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. A
she
little
does have a
jealous of
lot of
that one.
energy.
Jealous of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard that before. I've heard that before.
Yeah, I gotta get to
I hmm.
the.
Are you coming back to Japan this year?
No, I don't think so. Not unless somebody pays for absolutely everything. I'll put it. I'm gonna be blunt, dude. There's like, I can't. It'll be a
Come on,
week.
guys. Come on, guys. See,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would pay for like everything for me anyway, so I'm lucky that I live here.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it, man. I would love to, but I gotta stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on
Like,
that I want to get back to. God, Necky too. Damn, a lot
oh,
of
I'll
good
be seeing
stuff.
them. When am I seeing? I'm seeing them for sure in November.
Oh, good.
And then I think they're actually playing in a few weeks also, which I may go to. I gotta figure out like make sense of it all and like what shows are what. So
Yeah, cool. That'll be good.
um yeah. Like I wouldn't say I love their music,
Hmm.
like there's some good stuff, but it's not like, oh man, I can listen to this all day. So I definitely want to go see their live show and kind of experience that and see what it's about.
Yeah,
Because I think that definitely changes your perspective of bands when you just experience them live. So
yeah, it does, and it gives you something to apply to the next time you hear them. You know, if you listen to a studio or randomly on whatever you listen to, it makes a difference.
yeah, for sure. There's the visualizer going on, like you have those images, but you also have that emotional connection, that moment you experience, and you kind of ride that out, which is why like you end up buying like all the shit you probably wouldn't listen to anyway
Yeah,
after you see all these bands live, right? Sometimes.
dude, I have a rack full of CDs that I haven't even opened yet. I've seen them live. I've talked to some of the bands and I listen to their music, but I just get CD because it's the best way to support them if you can't get over there. Headphones
Yeah.
president. Damn, there's another one. Yeah, there's so many, man.
There's actually a pretty cool show with Headphone President, but it's in Osaka.
Hmm.
I forget who the other bands were. So, like, I started using the bookmark feature on Twitter
Yeah,
just so, like, I'm like, because I never used it before. I didn't need to. And now I'm like, okay, wait, what show is this? I'm like, okay, bookmark, 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 bookmark. So,
for sure.
yeah.
So definitely, guys, if you a lot of people can't get to see these bands. If you like them, seek them out. Find their websites. Get a CD, some merch or something. You will help support them that way. The subscribing and all that stuff is definitely a help, but help them directly if you can. And
Yeah. Like, the thing that I think people kind of misunderstand is they see a music video, they're like, oh, this band has like a couple 100,000 views or maybe even 1 million views. But they're still playing these small venues and it doesn't really add up to that much and it doesn't sustain them.
yeah,
Like I think,
absolutely. When I went there the first time and saw Cy Sega, which I thought was just a monster band, and
right.
there was like 75, 80 people there. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
But everybody there was 100% into it. Cy
Right.
Sega was 120% into it.
Right.
And it's just a different it's just different. Like here, if there's a venue booked, it's usually there's no small clubs like that. Not there are, but my experience being stuck between cities is there's no small venues to just go check out a band. And if there is a place, it's a shitty bar with a cover band. Nobody wants to have like original music. So to see somebody who has original music, it's at a bigger place, in a bigger city. So there you can go. You might have a band that doesn't have a lot of presence on YouTube, but they've been playing in those small clubs for years, and
Hmm.
they have a loyal following. I just want to try and get them some other loyal followers. That's all. Maybe get eyes on them from across the sea.
Yeah. I mean, no, you definitely are. You definitely are. And that's definitely that's something that I want to do as well.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
If they want it, if they want
Sure.
it. But yeah, man. I mean, because for me, it's only been 5 months now in Tokyo,
Yeah.
and like it's exponentially exploded in terms of like I had seen probably 38 shows in total last year, and that's including like all of these bandmate shows that I had been attending.
Oh,
Um, and now even without that, like I'm at what 36. So. I'll probably close out the year with at least 60 shows.
Wow.
But I gotta be careful, man. I really gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Because I think I do need to think about have the mentality of doing this as work and not just pleasure to like watch these bands and just enjoy it, but like what can I do? What can I offer?
Yeah.
How can I, take advantage of this in some way? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. Good job, Ryan.
Well, thanks.
Keep it up.
Well, thank you, man. The man on the scene. And a bit of blatant self promotion. I'm going to put a link to my album in the chat, just in case you want to,
Oh,
help support, whatever.
Cohagen.
Just listen to it.
Cohagen.
I'll throw it out there.
Cohagen.
Just promote all these other bands. Might as well promote myself once in a while. It's
Do
all
it.
instrumental, all sorts of different stuff. A lot of it goes heavy, so enjoy. Give it a listen if you would.
Uh,
I'd appreciate it.
yeah, some good stuff. It's pretty broad. Like you have a lot of different styles on there.
Thank you. It just kind of happens. Everything started out as background music, so I could just have my own music on there, and then they just kept developing. So a lot of them changed from what they start out as. But
Hmm.
so yeah, man. So anything you're working on? An old interview, editing that together. Anything else you got coming out? We can talk about now.
Coming out, some
Coming up.
blatant self-promotion.
Yeah,
I'm really just trying to, because for me, I realize photos, it's a way for me to connect with bands.
yeah,
But in terms of if I want to reach more people and have more people like see these bands, it's the videos, the interviews, it's that type of stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like what is selfish pleasure and what is like actually adding momentum to what I ultimately want to do, which I'm not completely sure. But I do know that I want to promote these bands. I do know that I want to get the word out there. I do know that I would love to see some bands make it over to the States
yeah.
at some point, and that's something that I'm going to be working on. I don't know, talking about it, figuring things out, details, and then at some point, getting some bands over there that probably wouldn't be able to, you
Awesome.
know.
That sounds like it's going to be something big, something important.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like I'd love to and I'd love to have like, different people like you be there, like getting a chance to meet up with some bands
Yeah,
and
it'd be awesome, man.
maybe Alan can be there, SJ should be there.
There's an amphitheater right here in Plymouth, man. Oh, you don't mean here,
Um,
do you?
no, I don't. No, I don't. Not even close. LA, man, LA.
L.A.
Come on. Whiskey a go-go?
Yeah, never been there.
You could you could do it. Oh, and then man, recently I've been wanting to play. I don't have the time for it,
Yeah.
but God, I don't know why. I've slowly been starting getting this itch where I want to play on stage. And I'm
Oh,
like, if I really wanted to, I'm sure I could. If I really wanted to. I know I could like, probably be at crescendo.
yeah.
I could talk to Hades. I could have a
Yeah, yeah,
drummer. I
yeah.
could have a bassist. I could do this, but
You could.
ah,
Yeah, it'd be.
but is it a priority?
Yeah, I thought. I don't know. Yeah, there's that balance between like trying to write music and perform it. Like, I just
Hmm.
haven't been performing at all.
Hmm. Why not, man?
Why not? I can't even keep up with what I do already, let alone adding that into it.
Hmm.
If somebody's like, "Hey, we'll promote you for a tour. Can you play this album?" I'd be like, "Dude, I improvised half that shit. I don't know what the fuck I did. I have to go learn it all."
Can we just play the CD? I'll do
Yeah,
some interpretive dancing.
I'll be like a freaking Rachel Reagan up there. Right, right, right,
Good Lord. Yeah.
right. Oh man,
Uh,
hell yeah, dude. Well, I don't know. That's a pretty good conversation as usual
yeah.
with you, hanging out with old friends.
Literally old.
That's right.
I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, yeah, it's been like 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Just about. Oh, well, no, because we first met October, because it was for Lisa's birthday at the Belasco.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
But close to 2 years, close to 2 years. That's kind of a long time, but it doesn't feel that way.
I've probably seen you more than some of my friends I've had for a long time.
Actual friends.
Yeah. Actually, no, you were an actual friend, Peter. Come on now, you're an actual friend. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
I do make an effort to see you. You know that.
I know you do. You really do, and I appreciate it, man. I do.
Because otherwise you'd forget.
Oh, you are? Yeah, yeah. I'm not even going to argue. Because everybody knows it's right.
All right, man. We should wrap this up. I gotta
Yep.
go to work in the morning.
I,
But
yeah.
yeah, good talking. We did cover our tops
Did
of
we?
2024.
Okay. I'll
I mean,
trust
there was
you.
a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff, but we did, throw out a few things here and there.
To do this
So,
right, it should have been like every month. Hey, what did we do this month? Oh, I saw this band, this band, this band, this band. Maybe
yeah,
next
yeah,
year.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Set aside a day.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's we had our comic book
Oh yeah, that really took
little
off, didn't
series. We did two of those, three of those? I think like only
it?
two.
I think too.
Yeah. That's my fault though. I mean, once I had to move, it's just like, okay, I can't do anything else.
Oh, that's nuts anyway. That's super time consuming. But yeah, thank you everybody in the
Oh,
chat who's been hanging out. What?
everyone send Peter $20 to see more shows. Alpha Omega. I won't refuse it.
Yeah, what's the best way for them to help you out, Peter? Just go to any of his videos and do a super thanks.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or if you want, since there's always those fees, you could just go to my PayPal, ps1lim@gmail. Always grateful. I did recently drop one of my camera lenses and found out the cost is like 40,000 yen.
Ooh, you want me to put that email in the chat?
Sure.
All
I
right.
guess I could put it in there.
But yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
This shit ain't free, man. And there's not really payment for many of these bands. It's just you know. Um,
Yeah.
so support helps, dude. I feel dirty saying it,
Yeah.
but So I'll promote you. Hey, help out Peter. He's doing the work, and he's doing it because he wants to. So help him out
I really
if you
do.
can.
I really genuinely do.
Yep.
40,000 JPY is $10? No, 40,000 JPY is about 250
Yeah.
roughly.
Tell you what, man.
So
It's hard to keep
Maya
track of
was
how much shit
coming.
really is when you're over there. It's
Mm.
like, yeah, stuff's cheaper in Japan, and then it's like, yeah, but when you're
It
trying to
adds up. It
convert
adds
this
up.
to that and how much oh man, yeah, it's a wake
Yeah.
up call.
Yeah, Jeff, definitely when you come over, get in touch and we'll definitely see at least one Hades show together. Actually, I don't know if the timing works because I can't go to some of their shows. It's so far.
Ooh.
Ah, yeah. Hmm. I kid you not. Like, I don't know if it's a heartache when I don't see Hades for a while, but I just miss them. I miss them.
Yeah, it's heartache. What do you?
Ah, it's crazy, man. Like just going back over the editing like today and like yesterday, just watching the videos of stuff I did. I'm like,
Yeah,
God, this is weird. This is weird. Don't you feel that way at times? You just like pinch yourself and go, what's happening with my life?
yeah. Oh yeah, man. Looking through like Google photos and videos and stuff. It's like, dude. Well,
How
I
did
put
I
out a
get
little
here?
video just like a general thanks. I didn't intend to make it, but I
Hmm.
had started a song on a live stream, and as I was making it, I started pulling photos and stuff, and then it just kind of turned into a thank you, and I showed like from the Belasco show and like many bands throughout the years since then, just like I've seen this and just photos like sharing kind of like
Hmm.
travel stuff and going to Japan and seeing these bands and some photos with fans and stuff, and it was just like it's kind of a trip, dude. Like, dude, I'm one lucky
Hmm.
freaking guy. It's just awesome.
I am right there with you. Yeah, I mean, people have said like they would kill to like do what I'm doing, and I'm like, I hear you, man. I'm, I mean, seriously, I get to see all these amazing bands all the time, everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. So, oh wait, so Yushi-san said that Mayo dropped a line here. She said hi, or she
Did she?
what? Mayo was here. Mayo 来た？ここに来た？どこいる？
Hope we didn't miss anybody else
Oh,
in the chat.
I don't think so. Hmm. Yeah, I was trying to get Maya to go see Deadpool and Wolverine with me,
Oh yeah.
but she's so busy. She's a massive Marvel fan, massive Marvel fan. So I was like, dude, we gotta go.
Can only
She's
imagine
like, I want to go.
sitting next to her during that movie. Have you seen it yet?
I did.
Okay, so yeah, that would be.
Oh, Maya 来た。こんば
You,
んは。
yeah.
Maya's here.
Oh,
ああ、Maya。ありがとう。来てくれてありがとう。
konnichiwa, Mayo. Mayo is
Her
super
nickname is
fun.
Big Boss.
Big
Her nickname
boss.
is Big Boss.
I understand
Yeah.
that. It makes sense. Awesome.
Yeah. Maya.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It's See, yeah, okay, so this is yeah, I know I'm making this like longer than it used to be, but like I remember when I was all about Bandmade and my whole thing was try and connect fans and relay that stuff to the maids. So like doing like remember when I was doing like all that like graphic stuff, like
Yeah,
Photoshop stuff for them?
yeah,
You know? And then on the reverse, it was like trying to relay whatever Bandmate had and trying to give that to the fans. Like I really tried to like be a middleman of sorts.
hmm
But especially relaying like the fans and their heart to Bandmate. And I think that's something like I really find a lot of joy and pleasure in is being that middleman and trying to relay back and forth and
yeah. You can. You're a
uh
bridge for people that can't like communicate. Yeah,
yeah. Like I really
that's
want people to learn Japanese. みんな、日本語勉強してね。早く勉強して。Miles said, 英語難しいけど楽しかった。So, did you understand that?
no.
英語
Something about English.
英語 Uh-huh.
Yeah.
難しい。難しい。難しい。Difficult, hard.
Ah,
And
I,
then けど even though it's difficult, it was fun. 楽しかった。Yeah. Yeah, it's cool, man. Like it's cool. Yeah. I think people don't understand how awesome it is for these like Japanese like bands to come in and like interact with like the fans and vice versa. Like people like Japanese bands are so happy, like you said, to
Mm.
have like fans overseas come and interact with them and like there really is no barrier aside from fear, I feel like. Fear and maybe miscommunication or the unwillingness or like I guess of course there's that inability sometimes language wise, but as far as the heart, it's there on both sides, you know?
Yeah, and if I don't know, what I found was that pretty much everybody there understood any basic thing you can think of to say. They're gonna
Mm,
get the idea. Great show, amazing show. You guys are awesome. Like
mm.
they're gonna be able to say thank you and understand what what your intent is. It was just it's really cool. It's just a different way. Like even here, I've been to a few shows where you see a few opening bands and they're at their merch table and they'll take photos with you and stuff. Same, and it doesn't happen
Yeah.
too often. The opportunity doesn't happen too often here. So yeah,
Yeah. If you guys ever do make your way to Japan, or if you have already, just don't be afraid. Like really, don't be afraid. Just say hi at the least.
yeah.
And try to just try to make small talk. Like they're happy. They're very happy. I mean, since I'm Asian and I can pass for Japanese, I have to speak some English to let them know, or just speak my normal, like, not so good Japanese, and they're like, oh, okay, you're not Japanese. But just the willingness, that little effort to just say hi and again, compliment, like share with them how much you love them or how
Mm-hmm.
awesome they are. Like that means a lot. I think for any insecure musician artist who likes to have some sort of like affirmation of what they're doing and that they're actually okay at what they do, like that means
Mm-hmm.
something. Like I grew up with three sisters and none of them were very supportive or encouraging. So I had so much fear of like putting myself out there musically, especially with singing, because one of my sisters was just like, "Ah, Peter, stop." And it took years to get over that. Konbanwa minasan, and thank you everyone. Mayo says hello everyone, and thank you. Mayo wa
こんばんは、まゆさ
saiko.
ん。
Mayo
Yeah.
本当に saiko. If Mayo ever makes it to America and people have a chance to meet her in person, like it's just
Oh, be a trip, man.
you experienced her firsthand in person.
Oh yeah.
That's
She
something you can't.
she's awesome,
Yeah,
funny,
she is.
full of energy. Yeah, super fun to be around. Ken 1973 said that the language barrier was something that scares him for traveling to Japan. Don't worry about it. Um, I wouldn't worry about it. Like I tried to learn some, and it was what I learned was pretty much useless. But it wasn't an issue really. Like there's signage everywhere in English, and the amount of people that are just willing to help you there anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. It helped to learn something.
Yeah.
Put forth an effort, but it's not necessary.
Mm.
So if you can go, go. I would say.
Yeah, come out to Japan, and if you do need a little help, and I'm able to, if I have the time or the energy.
Through the Discord and through the connections here at mine or BMCD, with Peter Borges-san, it'll help if you know somebody, if you can connect with somebody locally, so you can go to some like the better food spots that don't cost so much. Other than that, you'll be fine.
Just go to Yoshinoya. Good, cheap,
Yeah.
nice. You guys,
Okay.
yeah, be full. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's
dude.
good, cheap stuff. Everyone will absolutely love Maya if they meet her.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. The first reaction or review I did of having seen Mayo. But when I was talking about watching Bring It On for the first time, I was like, yeah, Mayo, just like the way she plays, her eyes, she's got this kind of craziness to it, and like,
Especially when she's
it's good
fighting with her
stuff.
hair.
Yeah. Ah, such good stuff. Such good stuff. That happened again the last show that we were at. Uh,
Yes. I remember just
yeah,
watching and being amazed at them, and then seeing her just back there like having an argument with her hair while she's trying to play.
yeah, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Okay, I
Yeah.
really do have to go. It's
All
1
right.
a.m. over here.
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting this.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Um,
Thanks for suggesting it.
uh, yeah, we'll have to do this again.
Another 2 years?
Yeah.
No, it'll be
No,
sooner than
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Sooner than that, sooner than
For
that.
sure.
We'll try to we'll try to figure something out. Make this into something potentially semi-regular. Because I mean, with your don't you ever get lonely just as Ryan Mear?
I do. I do.
Don't you want someone to just chat with?
Sitting here by
A little
myself all
back
the
and forth.
time. Yeah, dude. You should join me for a live stream sometime. That'd be awesome. Could we do
All
that? I
right.
should be able to do that. I can have this thing here and then another thing there. I'm sure my computer will crash.
So you mean like listen to music together and
Yeah,
like react and comment?
that would be cool.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fun.
down. As long as I have time. I do have time. No, I probably it depends. Because I have today is what, the 7th, the 19th. Oh, the 19th. I have break from the 23rd to the 1st of September. So I have
Okay.
9 days, but I will be attending maybe 4 or 5 shows during that
Okay.
time. But somewhere around there, I'm
Yeah,
sure I can get in a live stream with you.
we'll figure something out. We'll do a test run and
Yeah.
see if it'll work, and then we'll
All right.
figure it out. Or we'll do, if not
Yeah.
that, we'll do something in that time.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good, man. Yeah, Jeff, I will see you sometime soon. Yeah, there you go, Mike. Michael Muno busting out, unless you actually type that yourself or you use the translation. 素晴らしい音楽に感謝します。あなたの幸せなエネルギーが大好きで
What?
す。
I'm
あり
not
が
even seeing what you're
と
seeing.
It's from Michael Muno. It's about four, one, two, three. Yeah,
Huh?
I have like four lines up. Oh, Maya's still hanging out.
Cool.
I did not type that. Okay. You copied and pasted.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. I'm gonna bounce. It has
Yep.
been a pleasure. Mayo, ありがとう。本当に来てくれてありがとう。
Maya-san, arigato
ああ。
gozaimasu. Yushi-san, arigato.
Yes.
Peter,
いつもゆしさんありがとう。Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
thanks, man. Good talking to you again. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out and helping us sort through some things. You know, it always helps to have somebody out there naming things you can't think of and whatnot. Thank you, Mayo, for hanging out in the chat.
Yeah. And
Ichi-san,
Raizo for stopping by.
Raizo, definitely.
Yeah.
So these are bands we're talking about, man. They actually show up and interact. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. Having one of the coolest drummers ever stop by and say hi.
For sure. You better go check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hades. Um, one band I forgot to mention that I've seen 3 times so far this year, and every time I'm blown away by their energy and performance. Let It Out, Lydia.
Ah, yeah.
Let It Out, Lydia. There's four really petite little girls from Miyazaki, over in Kyushu in Japan, more on like the southwestern side. That's kind of where like Kumamoto and other like places are. But uh if you make it to Japan and they're playing anywhere near you, I recommend you go see Let It Out Lydia too. Like it's hard to explain. They have that thing where like when you see them, you're like, God, how the hell is all of that coming out of like you girls? Like it's wild. So yeah,
There you
check them
go.
out.
Last word. Thank you very
All
much,
right,
man. It's
guys.
good to see you again. Thanks everybody in the chat for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.